Hey, good morning. So, we all know about the signs that are happening all around us, about the warnings, and about what is not only has taken place, but what is about to take place. So, I'm sure many have heard about the April 8th eclipse coming up, and I'm sure maybe you're even sick of hearing about it. But the intent of this video is to show maybe a different perspective and some different or maybe new information, and also to provoke the listener to do research for themselves and to study for oneself, and to maybe even encourage you to look these things up, and maybe the Lord will speak to you about items that we have not thought of, or maybe that He is holding just for you. So obviously, April 8th, 2024 eclipse, if you go back to the August 21st of 2017 eclipse, which is the Great American Eclipse, it was actually 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks between the two dates, and actually even 6 days if you go to the end of April 8th. So 666. So 6 in the Hebrew is to perish, no escape, to destroy. 6 in the Greek is Abel, the first person murdered. 66 in the Hebrew is a meadow. The root meaning is wastewater, like urine. So 66 in the Greek is wild, as in a wild olive tree, and even raging. So 666 in the Hebrew is ashes, and even means a turban covered in ashes. So we're going to be covered in ashes by the turban. Is that the enemy? We'll see, guys. So 666 in the Greek is absence, to go away. And then 6666 in the Hebrew is righteousness, virtue, and beneficence. It means charity and mercy, kindness. It also means to cleanse self, to turn to righteousness. That's very, very interesting. So this is actually 2,423 days, and that means beast. It also means alive and living, as in the living beast. So that's very interesting to consider. It's 79 months when you factor in, when you actually look at it from the perspective of the actual day count. 79 is to float away in the Hebrew, and it's 346 weeks. And 346 in the Greek is to gather in. The root meaning is priesthood, holy, to be whole, living. It also means a puzzle. And we do know in these final hours, the Lord is giving us signs, and it's like a large puzzle that we are trying to, decipher. Now, the 2017 eclipse, we all know, went through 7 Salem: Salem, Oregon, Salem, Idaho, Salem, Nebraska, Salem, Wyoming, Salem, Missouri, Salem, Kentucky, Salem, South Carolina. So when the eclipse started in Salem, Oregon, causing it to go dark, the sun went down in Jerusalem, where we get the word Salem from. That's where these cities got their name, was from Jerusalem in Israel. So when it entered into the USA, causing Salem, Oregon to go dark, it went dark in Jerusalem, Israel at the exact same time. Now that is very significant, I feel. Let's see. Now, obviously, the 2024 eclipse will go over 7 cities in the United States named Nineveh. And 7 is actually completion. And then it'll go over 1 more in Canada, totaling 8, meaning new beginning. And this is also happening on the 8th. 8 is permanent, without ceasing. So is this stating that 7 is the completion of America, and then 8, the new beginning of time? So the April 8th eclipse will enter into Eagle Pass Texas, where we're having our border crisis, even though only 2 of the Ninevehs will be completely in the path of totality, all Ninevehs, all 8 will be affected by this eclipse. Also, this time we'll go over Jonah, Texas. And in Matthew 12:39, Jesus said, a wicked and adulterous generation will be given the sign of Jonah. So the highest magnitude of this eclipse of 1.023 will take place over Nineveh, Indiana at 3:07 p.m. local time. 1023 in the Greek is strength, the arm. And then 3:07 in the Greek is causes to go up, to bring up, to haul up, to draw up. So Salem, Missouri, which is the 2017 path of totality, and Nineveh, Missouri, which is the 2024 path of totality, is 3 hours and 48 minutes apart by car, and 3:48 in the Hebrew is actually Jezebel, which is very interesting. The whore of Babylon. We are the whore of Babylon, Babylon the Great. It is 224 miles apart, which means in the Greek, a meal. So there are a lot of interesting things that we can take away. There's a lot of things that I believe the Lord is telling us and showing us in every way, shape, and form. And these warnings are not meant for us to stand by and be idle, but to witness, to proclaim, to tell others about what the Lord is doing, about the signs and the wonders and the sun, moon, and stars, which he told us to look towards to get gleanings of information that he's trying to present through his word. And then also the last day signs of his spirit being poured out upon all flesh, and his sons and daughters, and having dreams, and old men having visions. And it is interesting, this is on April the 8th. There is 8 Ninevehs. On the 8th day is when a Jewish baby boy is circumcised. And it is interesting that this eclipse, which is a sign of judgment, is entering in Eagle Pass, USA. And we do know that the 4th living creature at the 4th seal, when hell and death come, the 4th living creature has the wings of an eagle. And we also know that when the woman gives birth to a man-child, the man-child that is caught up, at that time the woman will be given the wings of an eagle in flight to flee into the wilderness. So there is a lot to take away from everything going on. And I know we are probably getting sick and tired of hearing these things, and there are so many perspectives, and there's so much hyperbole and even debate on everything going on. But the one thing we can take away is we know without a shadow of doubt we are at the end of times. We are in the last days, and Jesus Christ is warning us. And I guess we must all ask ourselves, what are we going to do about this? And I challenge you to go into Ezekiel and study that when we have knowledge about something, then what we have, if we're told to kind of talk to others, that we have to do it. Like if we're holding back information that the Lord is sharing with us about the sword coming against a people or an individual, or a warning or a judgment, and if we don't say anything, believe it or not, their blood is on our hands. And so that is why it's so important that we must speak about these things, to share about Jesus Christ. And it's not just about the judgment, because the judgment is going to come whether we like it or not, whether we believe it or not. The judgment will come. However, the main thing to take away from this is the steadfast love of Jesus Christ and the Father, that he is warning us. He loves us so much that he's giving us warnings. He's giving us signs. He's giving us dreams. He is telling us in every way, shape, and form about what is to come. So he is a merciful and wonderful God with great mercy. But you have to remember, there are many things happening simultaneously. This is about taking back the world that was given to Satan. And he is a king. Jesus Christ is a king, and he is in a battle with his adversary, the accuser of the brethren. He's at battle. He's engaged in a war with him over us. He is at war with Satan over us because Adam surrendered his lineage to Satan when he partook in the forbidden fruit in the garden, and when death entered the human race. Jesus Christ came and abolished death. And now he's going to bring onto him those that belong to him. That's why he's in a battle, in a conflict with Satan over us. So he is giving us every opportunity to choose him, because if we don't choose Jesus Christ, if we don't submit and follow him completely and wholeheartedly, by default, we are under the cognizance and the authority of the ruler of this world, who is Satan. So even if you do not choose Satan with your own lips, by default you follow him. Why do you think this is so important? Why do you think that I have made close to 2,000 videos about all this stuff going on? Golly, they actually took over 1,000 videos of mine down off this channel. But listen, we have an opportunity to enter into glory because Jesus loves us and he's giving us the choice, but he's not going to force you. See, Satan is going to force you to follow him. Jesus will never force you. It is a free will, just like Adam had the free will to choose to follow what the Father said, to follow what God said, or not, and he didn't. And that's why we're in the pickle that we're in right now. That Jesus Christ came willingly. He came because the Father loved us so much that he sent his Son to rescue and save us from hell and death. Jesus Christ holds the keys of hell and death. And he wants to save you. He wants to rescue you, but you must want to be rescued. You must want to be saved. So in these final hours, as we see all these signs unfolding before our very eyes, as we see everything going on, we have the opportunity to partner with Jesus Christ right now. Or by not choosing him, we are automatically, by default, we go against him. And that's just how it is. I'm not sorry. That's just how it's structured. And I can't change it. Neither can you. But you can choose to enter into glory, enter into everlasting life, or by not choosing him, you already made your choice to go into everlasting torment and torture and death. He loved you so much that he came. He gave his life for you. He shed his blood for you. He made a way from you. He is the bridge between this physical reality and the spiritual realm in heaven. He is that bridge. There is no other way to enter into heaven but through Jesus Christ. Call out to him today. Cry out to him today. Surrender to him today. I don't know what's going to happen on April the 8th. However, it will go dark over America. We do know that it is a judgment for America. We do know this much. Will you trust Jesus Christ in what he said? He said the adulterous and wicked generation, he'll give them the sign of Jonah. And that is the sign we are receiving here this next month. Will you trust him today? Will you submit your life to him today? He is the only way off this rock into the kingdom of the Father. Jesus Christ is the only way into heaven. That is it. There is no other way. Don't be fooled and deceived. We do not become our own gods. We just do not go into oblivion and just the lights are turned out. We are eternal beings. We either live forever in complete torment, destruction, fire, and death, or we live forever in absolute glory, in amazing beauty, in peace and joy everlasting. It is your choice, my friends. That's why I make these videos. That's why I do this, is to warn and to give different perspectives and to try to eke out every finite detail I possibly can. Because listen, what I just told you, it is just a scraping, is the tip of the iceberg. It is hardly any information, but I want to at least put out something to you for you to look and seek out for yourself, because this is a journey between you and Jesus Christ. I can't do this for you. I can't do this for you, nor anybody else except Jesus Christ. He is the way, the truth, and the life. He is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And so I want to give you this opportunity. If you've been on the fence, if you've been holding back, if you've been wavering, if you've been lukewarm, what did Jesus Christ say? If you're lukewarm, he will spit you from his mouth. Don't be lukewarm anymore. Go full steam ahead into Jesus Christ. The time is now. Don't wait any longer. All right, I guess I'll leave it at that. I love you guys. Have a blessed day. And to all those who make comments, thank you. It's a blessing to see fellow brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ that fully follow him. It is a blessing. I look forward to being with you at the marriage supper of the Lamb. Have a blessed day, guys. I love you. It's in Jesus' name I send this message and pray. Bye-bye.